think there's more rumor than anything. But whoever buys them, they're gonna have to bring it out. They have to pay a whole lot of money. And the type of owner that would take over that market would have to be somebody that the NBA would be looking forward to as like somebody who can really generate money. So that'd be interesting to even see, like, if the Knicks get put on the market for sale, and who would even be the potential buyers.
Right.
And just to add to that, I want to add to that. And I was reading an article and it said that the start of buying the Knicks would be around $5 billion, because the Clippers were bought for $2 billion. So
yes.
The Knicks, the start, they said the ceiling out would be around $5 billion. Wow. So someone, like you said, you're right, Tyjun, they would have to open up that bread. They have to put up a lot of money just for a start of a conversation. And with the Knicks, with the free agency, they're always a destination, supposedly. They struck out in 2010. I know we talked about this earlier. They struck out in 2010 when they thought they were going to get LeBron, they were going to get Wade, they were going to get Bosh, they were going to get all these guys. They ended up with Amari Stoudemire, they ended up with Carmelo Anthony, and they had nothing to show for after J.R. Smith. They had nothing to show for after all of that in 2000. All those guys are gone. And the Knicks, it's interesting because they are, like I said, it is New York, Madison Square Garden. But if they don't get KD, Kyrie, and Zion, that's their dream team that they want. That's what they want to build around. They'll get those three. And if they get say Kemba Walker, not a fight to Kemba Walker or anybody else, they get Kemba and say Boogie Cousins. Knicks fans already said that's a failure. They're going to keep things going out of it. Those are good players, very good players. I like Kemba, I love Boogie Cousins, but they want KD and Kyrie. That's who they want, and I just don't see that ownership, man. That's a problem. And if he's as smart as I think he is, he stays in Golden State and keep winning as much as he can.
Yeah.
Well, to piggyback on that. To piggyback on what you said when you was like get Kemba, somebody, what the Knicks need to do, they don't have to get a all-star. They don't have to get an all-star. They don't even have to get a superstar. But they got to get a talented player, right? A talented, viable player that they can start to like bring them as a reputable organization. And it's similar to like with the Warriors. Like for the Warriors, our reputable player that we signed was David Lee. That's when everything started to turn for us. That's when we got David Lee. We started showing that we were like an organization that was really determined to start building a contender. And so we got David Lee, and then the next big free agent we got was Andre Iguodala, right? And then finally we got the big fish, which was KD, right? But you got to start somewhere. And so Kemba Walker might be a good start, but a lot of people think that they're going to get Kyrie Irving or KD from the jump, and I just don't see that happen.
Yeah. Now, real quick, I got to say, in the words of Soulja Boy, David Lee? Now, I do get it.
Hey, but remember, David Lee ended up being an all-star with the Warriors.
True.
So remember, David Lee was balling. He got it rolling, and then when David Lee got injured, that's when the Warriors really took off. Was when he got injured and Draymond came in, but before that, like David Lee was balling. Like he was a 20-10 guy for us.
Now, a couple of comments here I do want to read. ABM says all NBA teams are making money. No one. I think he's saying no one bought Charlotte for $250, mostly debt. Now they are not. Now they are worth $1.2 billion. Revenue sharing is a gold mine for so-called small market teams. That is true. Big L says Zion is not saving the Knicks. He also says R.J. Barrett will be a better NBA player. Zion is a baby LeBron. Like we called Minor. What was that guy's name? His last name was Minor. We called him Baby Jordan. That was a curse.
Harold Minor. Baby Jordan. Yep.
Yeah, we called him Baby Jordan. When you call somebody Baby Jordan, that's a curse. But we now officially we have the first baby LeBron, and that's what this kid is. Zion is man against boys. Like it's really just, it's not even a comparison. of these dudes he's playing against, it's really not. His true test is going to be the NBA. I think his true test will also be the NCAA tournament, because I really want to see what Duke is going to do. Now, Duke is now number 1 in the country again. Tennessee falls to 5th. They end up losing. But I'm not a Duke fan. I will never, ever will be a Duke fan my entire life. It will never, ever happen. But I will say this. This team is good. I want to ask you guys a question. Do you see them possibly winning the national championship this year? Before you guys answer that question, though, I got to read a comment here from Big L. He said, Ben always, what did he say here? This was funny. He said, everything comes back to the Cowboys, Ben BS3 style. You're right about that. Everything does come back to the Cowboys because we are relevant like a lot of other teams in professional sports. So, yes, that is correct. But Courtney Harden, do you think Duke can win the national championship?
They got all the recipes to win the national title because they're balling right now. I think they can. They have the talent. They have some of the best players. They got Zion, RJ Barrett. I mean, they got top 10 talent that's going to be in the NBA, and they have one of the greatest coaches of all time in Coach K. So they have all the ingredients. Now we know there's always hiccups going into the tournament. They have to win. They have to win the ACC tournament. They got to beat Carolina coming up. I think it's Wednesday. That's going to be a tough game. And there's still a lot of teams. I think it's not just a one team race right now. But as of right now, I think they're the most talented team. And if they can just keep it together, put it all together, I think they can win the national championship. Now, if you ask me in March, I might change my mind. I got to see what's going on with the conference tournaments and things like that, and where everybody's seated. But if you ask me today, I think they're the best team in the nation right now.
All right, Tyjun. I mean, don't let me down.
They are ranked number 1. They do have the number 1 draft pick on their team. They have the number 2 draft pick on their team. They probably had the number 3 and number 4 draft pick on their team. I mean,
right.
This team is loaded, man. They're loaded. They have a coach who knows how to scheme and how to put them in the best position to win. They're playing. I think what's extremely important about Duke, that people ought to realize, Duke is playing defense, man. That's how they're winning games. They're winning games for their defense. And so with that being said, like I think you have to look at them as the favorite to win a championship because I mean at the end of the day that's what it's about. That's how you win championships. It's through it's on the defensive end. Trey Jones is a really, really good ball player. Point guard, he kind of sets the defense up. He's a ball hawk. He presses the ball all the time. Not a lot of other teams getting their sets and things like that. And like I said, and you look at the rest of the talent. I mean, Zion, who's a freak of nature. RJ Barrett. I mean, this like I said, this team is loaded. I mean, RJ Barrett don't even get talked about as much as he should, and that's because Zion is just that good, right? But this team is loaded. And you got to look at them as a favorite as of right now. As Courtney said, in March, that might be different. You start looking at the sleeper teams, some Cinderella teams, and, you have those teams that come up out of nowhere who get hot in the tournament and play really well, get momentum, things like that. So you have to wait until March. But right now, I mean, you got to give it to Duke. I think Duke is the favorite.
Yeah. I mean...
And I hate Duke too. Just to let you know, I hate Duke too. I'm a Carolina fan. So.
It's just Zion is he's a walking highlight reel. People watch Duke to see what dunk is he going to do today. What young kid is he going to dunk on today? Because he's going to dunk on somebody. It's either going to be your kid or somebody else's kid. But hopefully his feelings not hurt. But if you get underneath that rim, do not. I mean, you have to jump if you want, but I would just, if I was any of these kids, I would just fall over and just fake an injury if he's coming down the middle. I'm just gonna wilt over like Jason Witten does on a slant route. That's what I would do. But we are getting kind of pressed for time. I know Courtney Harden does have to go in a couple minutes, but I wanted to get to one other topic. Bradley Beal says that he was recruiting for the Wizards during the NBA All-Star game. And I bring that up because, that's the perfect time. Everybody's there. You only have the Olympics every 4 years. So, yeah, everybody's recruiting with everybody. Why wouldn't you? That's, to me, if I'm a business person, if you talk business, that is a networking opportunity for you to talk to whoever it is and say, hey, I know you're playing on this scrub team, but why don't you come over here? Like, kind of like what Suge Knight did I think that was at the Source Awards. Your owner over here dancing all in the videos, dancing all on TV. Why don't you come over here to the Lakers where we got Magic? So, I mean, those conversations do happen. Let's all not be confused about this. But I want to get you guys' thoughts on that before I let you guys go. Courtney Harden, what's your thoughts?
They do it all the time. I mean, we've heard stories when players at All-Star Weekend, that's the time when they're relaxing, they're chilling. They got the best players. I mean, all the players are there. All the All-Star talent, they're there. I mean, and now, even today, with social media and everything, it's so easy now to do that. So, yeah, you do try to recruit, and you do try to say, okay, I need my guys. I need these guys to come on my team. So why not? I mean, it's not they're not hurting anything. They're just talking. And plus, I think that's when LeBron got together with Wade and Bosh, when they came together. I know we heard a lot of people say, "Oh, this wasn't in the making for a couple months." No, this was in the making for a couple of years. I think it happened in 2 years. They were recruiting each other. They were talking about it. They were doing it in All-Star. They were doing it in free agency. They were doing it outside of outside of the regular season. So yeah, that's what you do. You're there to recruit. And if you're the status of LeBron, we say he's the president, he's the GM, he's the coach, he's the owner. He's a recruiter. He's his agency. You got all these guys. LeBron is the player president, as Biggie Smalls would say. He's the player president.
Great
so
reference.
you got, and as you said, I love that the Suge Knight reference. Yeah, it was a Source Award. He was like, yeah, if you want a record label, come on over to us. So Bradley Beal, you're not doing anything new. I'm glad you're trying to recruit because I think he sees with John Wall being hurt. John Wall could be out for a good year and a half, maybe 2 years. He might not be the same player ever again. And plus, he's got that big contract, so it's going to be hard to move. So, yeah, Bradley Beal's looking at it. He sees Anthony Davis want to move. You see Jimmy Butler. You see Kawhi Leonard. You see all these guys. I mean, free agency is going to be huge up and coming. These next KD, Klay Thompson, all these guys, Kemba Walker. So Bradley Beal wants to get into the mix. I have no problem with him doing it. And, hey, why not? It's the best time to do it. So yeah, he wants the Wizards to be relevant again. So I have no problem with Bradley Beal doing what he trying to recruit.
Yeah. Tyjun Mack, go ahead.
No issues with recruiting at all. I mean, this is what players do. I mean, it's not nothing new. I think players have recruited all the time. I mean, even going back to Jordan days, you've had players that are like, hey, you know what? Like when we go play over here, when we, I think I'm the missing piece over here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not new. I don't have any issue with it. I think that players are smart in doing it in that manner. Trying to really match their talents. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, like, that people don't realize. Like, a lot of players are recruiting to, like, get players that really match their abilities so that they can be a really, really good team. They're doing a better job in ownership. I mean, you look at, LeBron, what he did with Miami, got all the shooters, recruited a bunch of shooters around him. Same thing in Cleveland. He knows his ability to pass, got a bunch of shooters around him, and things like that. So, why not? Like, he knows exactly what he needs. Franchise player knows exactly what they need around them. Let them recruit. Let them go try to find players that fit their scheme, fit their style of basketball, and build teams together. And ownership should be happy about that because it makes their job a lot easier, I think. I think that fans are mad, because they're like, oh, you're trying to get the best talent. You're trying to get the best players. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like your objective is to win. Like that's what you're playing for. You play to win. I mean, I don't,